What's up? What's up? What's up out there in media land? If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is, welcome, welcome once again. We are excited to have each and every one of you join us. This is us at our finest. I got my fellas with me. Fellas, say hi.
What's happening?
Hey,
My brother Fish should be joining here soon, but we're going to go ahead and get started with today's episode. We are excited. Y'all been keeping up with the news? Anybody been keeping up with the news? These freaking balloons are getting out of hand. These unidentified flying objects are getting out of hand. What is it now? It's been like seven or so. There was one off the coast of Alaska, I think, one in Canada, one we talked about the last time that we were on in Myrtle Beach. And it's getting crazy. What do y'all think?
Makes me afraid to go to birthday parties now. Walk outside with a balloon, you don't know if you're gonna get shot up or what.
I think it's a whole lot of stuff we don't know about and we won't know.
It's a whole lot of stuff that we don't know about. You're absolutely right because in addition to obviously the balloons, there have been what two train derailments? Is it two? Two
Yeah.
train
So,
derailments, both carrying hazardous material.
So I heard there is actually uh, every year in the U.S. there is 1,000 train derailments.
So it's not
Uh,
uncommon.
it's not uncommon. We average like 3 or 4 a day. Um, Obviously, they're not always on this level, and that's why we don't hear about it as much. But it's pretty common. But it speaks to the fact of how do I want to say unkept our railroads might be, and we just I just want to point out one thing, and I'll shut up. I know I can ramble. We just went through that thing where they wanted sick days, and the company, specifically Norfolk Southern, because that's the one that's closest to us, they were all adamant about they couldn't afford it. But I'm pretty sure they just posted about having like $7 billion in profit, not revenue, profit.
Woo!
but it's always, well, how are we going to pay for it?
Right.
Pay for it.
Yep.
That's always the question.
Yep. So it's pretty disturbing that both sides of the aisle seem to agree with the train companies, railroad companies over the workers. Specifically, some of the things that Biden said in his run up to election or into the election are definitely counter to what he displayed in this situation. Yeah, money talks, right?
Political action committees talk. Money talks.
Yeah.
Lobbyists talk indeed.
Hey,
Um,
I've said it for as long as I can remember. Lobbyists should be illegal.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But it's the way of the United States definitely right now. It always has been, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. The dunk contest happened last night. Does that mean the All Star game is tonight?
7:30.
7:30. How do they split the teams this year?
Once again, it's LeBron versus Team Giannis again, and I think Curry is hurt. He's not going to be able to play this year.
Mm, mm.
But yeah, so that's a highlight. I don't, I'm a miss because he went off last year and scored 50. So
There's actually been a lot that's happened since the last time we saw each other. I know I'm gonna forget something because last time we saw each other, the Super Bowl was happening. What that night? Was it that night? The last time that we saw each other, Kansas City,
Uh, no, it was the weekend before.
weekend before. So we haven't even did we talk about it? Did we address it?
The
I don't
Super
think we
Bowl, we
did.
haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about it. So we had Kansas City that won. They beat Philadelphia. How did y'all feel about the controversial call at the end? My feelings are you had the whole opportunity in the game to win. You didn't close it out. One call shouldn't dictate the entire game. But I'll let my 49ers fan speak to this because he's obviously.
I just want to say, y'all say that now, but I remember for weeks on end, it was a catch. It was a catch.
Hey,
And you know what? And you know what?
Play shouldn't dictate the game, right?
And they proved that was a catch. They proved
No.
lately that there was a catch.
To today's rules, it was a catch. To those days' rules, it was not a catch. It was a terrible rule, but it was the rule at the time.
You see this?
It's a catch now under this year's rules and last year, but before that, it was not a catch.
You see the true Niners and the true
I'm
Cowboys.
glad to get that off his chest.
Who, Nando?
Yeah, he made everything.
Oh, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. You would never ever hear me argue the fact that whether or not it was a catch or not, because at the end of the day, to me, it's always the belief that you have every opportunity to put that game away before any controversial call happens. And with this past Super Bowl, the Eagles were up 24-14 at halftime. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I stopped watching because at 24-14 was when Patrick Mahomes got hurt and he's limping off the field, and I'm thinking to myself, game over. Nope. So Eagles, you had every opportunity, and I'm happy y'all lost. I'm not even gonna lie. All y'all Eagles fans out there that are friends of mine, hate on me. I'm happy y'all lost. Y'all deserve it. Y'all are not terrible fans, but some of y'all fans are just horrible. Just throwing that out there.
So what do you think about them booing our boy when he walked out on this field?
Booing Dak?
Yeah.
He's gonna get booed everywhere he goes.
They booed Santa Claus. They're not gonna show no love to Dak.
Yeah. They boo their mothers if.
I know one time I was watching the game and the cameras picked up somebody in the crowd. It was one of their running backs. I can't remember for the life of me who it was, but they were like, his last name, you so and so. I hope you get cut. And I looked to my friend. I was like, this is Philly. I don't know if they mean literally or just from the team. Just to speak on the Super Bowl real quick, I'll say this. A hold is a hold. It was a hold. The refs have been letting stuff go, but it's up to them whether they're going to let it go or not. You want to take that chance in a spot like that for the last few seconds of the game that they're not going to call it. That's the price you pay. And like you said, Des, it shouldn't come down to that, right?
Never should.
It seemed like to me you had opportunity to put that game away.
Absolutely.
And as much as I want to hate Mahomes after, they beat us after we were up by 10, the guy's a warrior, and I got nothing but respect for them, unfortunately.
The boy is a
I thought the Eagles were going to come out and just smash them in the mouth, and they almost did.
Look, I woke up the next morning like, no way they came back and won that game. Went to the score like they came back and won that day. I should have watched the rest of what the world was wrong with me. So I do apologize that I didn't watch everything highlights at the second half. Blake, did you watch it?
What's that?
I said, Blake, did you watch it?
Not the whole thing. Mainly the halftime.
So you just watched Rihanna?
Yeah.
Who's pregnant again, by the way?
I knew as soon as she came up, I was like, wait.
I think that should have been common sense for everybody. Everybody started posting on the feed. Is she pregnant? I mean, it certainly looks it. I mean, what other cause is it? So
but the performance was better than I thought. Because remember we were talking about it, I'm like, I don't want to hear her sing Umbrella and all that. Like I don't know. But it was better than I thought, for sure.
I thought it was boring. I thought the singing was great. I thought
the way they did it was pretty cool. The way they raised everybody up in the air.
The Mario, what is that Mario fighting game? What's it called? Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I think that was awesome.
as a platform to sing on, but
So I stopped watching it even before the halftime show happened. So I didn't even see Rihanna. I saw snippets of Rihanna on the platform and singing and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't obviously see.
I think we're used to it being such a spectacle at halftime,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
just
we
ridiculous that compared to everything else, it was so simple.
we are. I mean, we're accustomed to. I mean, we saw Prince. We've seen Michael Jackson.
I mean, even what's it, the weekend, like the crazy mirror thing.
Yeah, he's
I
walking
didn't like the weekend.
with the mirrors and stuff, and
Nah,
we.
But
all right. Go ahead.
what I will say is this: even though we don't fool with this person necessarily right now, if Kanye had come out and did his verse on "Run This Town," that would have been lit. I'm not even gonna lie.
Or if Breezy would have come out.
Why would he have come out?
Hey, never know.
Just a
Never
day.
know.
Why would Chris Brown come out with Rihanna? You already know.
Never know. You never know.
Who's that
No,
coming from underneath the mat with a steel chair?
Just
It's
do it.
Chris Brown.
Never.
Just to do a spin and a backflip and then get off stage. Dang,
They could have look. He could have came out, did his little verse, went back in.
He don't.
That was all it.
They don't have a song
He don't
together.
have no verse. He don't have no verse for her.
I mean, he could have just come out and just come out. Are they still beefing? Are they gonna always be beefing?
Yeah,
Well,
he
no, I
don't
don't
beef her. That's beef forever. That's why Chris Brown can't win no awards to this day. They still mad at him about that.
It's also because he just dances, but okay.
I'm not about to have a Chris Brown argument with you right now.
Huh?
I'm not. We're gonna move forward. I'm not doing that with you right now.
You're not getting in your feelings about Chris? Here?
No. I just know
Okay.
your opinion. I know
Oh,
your
yeah,
opinion.
you know my opinion.
I'm not even
In
gonna-
my opinion, if you want to know, my opinion is that while I do agree that Chris is talented, I just don't think that there is a male singer out there that I feel like really is just this great singer. Yes, he is talented. I give him that, but it's not too many Chris Brown songs I even really like, to be honest.
Not even the weekend.
Not even the weekend. Not even weekend. But think of who I'm comparing them to. Like I compare them to like Otis Redding and Al Green and Sam Cooke. Like those were singers to me. So when I'm listening to a singer, like probably my favorite modern R&B artist, and y'all will hate me for this, male artist is Usher.
Me and Andrea have had this talk many times, and she gets mad at me because I say he was very he's elementary in his music.
Who, Usher?
Yeah,
You might be right there.
I don't know. I feel like what's his name is better. Neo. I like Neo way better than Usher.
The boy can write.
Yeah,
The boy can
And sing.
he can-
I think he's just not a performer like
no.
Usher is. Don't get me wrong, Usher is a performer, so I wouldn't take that away from him.
But that's my feelings. That's neither here nor there. So that's why Blake said what he said. Y'all forgive him. So we'll move on. Any
We
other
can talk about music for hours, so we can't
about
get down that rabbit hole.
we could talk about music for hours.
Me and you, Des, we have a couple of music disagreements.
I
And
don't think it's two.
it's
It's
what
really only two. It's not.
it is what it is.
It's only two. You can think of more than two.
You said Chris, and who was the other?
Chris and Future are the two.
Ah, yeah.
Those are the only two that we ever disagree on. I don't. We may disagree on R. Kelly.
I don't think we've had an R. Kelly discussion
Yeah, but I think we may disagree on R. Kelly
in regards to what specifically.
in regards to like I only like probably one or two songs. Like I'm not the biggest R. Kelly fan.
I'll be honest with you. I like his trilogy, the Trapped in the Closet trilogy. I like that.
Trash.
Really?
You trapped in the closet.
That mess got to be like Saul. It's like, when does this end? Like, when?
Look, that joint was like a Tyler Perry movie.
It was. It was.
Insane.
It was. Same. Just telling a story that just got out of hand, and it's like, what?
Too much.
What is too much?
I ain't gonna lie, I listened to every bit of it though.
You did?
Until the very end, because I was like, yes, whatever happens next, I guess I got to listen to it next week.
No. I watched the first 5 and was like, yeah, no.
In some kind of way, didn't a midget get involved?
Yeah, midget got involved. Because, so here's the thing. And this is why I don't like, what's that show? What's that show, Scandal, with, what's her name, Kerry Washington?
Yeah, Scandal.
This is why I don't like shows like that, and this is why I didn't like Trapped in the Closet. I don't believe that anybody goes through that much stuff. Like,
I say that all the time.
People got problems, yes, but nobody goes through that much.
I say that about soap operas, right? Like, if you got that much stuff going on in your town, move. You need to move.
Exactly. Your life is not Olivia Pope. Her mama was crazy. Her daddy was crazy. Her friends was crazy. Like, at what point do you say to yourself, you know what? Maybe really it's not everybody around me. Maybe it's me.
I'm attracting the crazy.
I'm attracting crazy. Like, nobody, like R. Kelly's situation. There was the midget, and then he was married to the girl, and R. Kelly messing with her, and then he messing with this. Nobody has that much going on in their lives. I'm sorry. If you do, more props to you. But look, man, I spend too much time on Facebook to have that much stuff going on in my life. Too much. It becomes unbelievable to me. I guess that's what I'm saying. It becomes unbelievable, and then I'm just like, yeah, I can't even enjoy it. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'll shut up. Is there any other news that we need to talk about?
No, go ahead.
I was thinking out loud.
I saw
my boy from SVU died. The dude with the glasses.
Belzer?
Yeah, he did.
I feel like every time you describe him, that's how you describe him, the dude with the glasses.
He was on there forever, and now he gone.
He sure enough was a staple of SVU. Law and Order. Yeah. So, rest in peace, shout outs. Definitely.
That's all.
Well, Ant-Man came out Friday.
Did you watch it?
I saw that.
Was it good?
It was. I give it maybe a 7 out of 10 on that one.
That's a high rating.
It's okay. It was okay. I mean, I liked it, but it was more.
He did. Y'all saw him though at first. He was kind of skeptical. He said, but then he gave it a 7 out of 10. That's pretty high.
Well, because I mean, I guess whatever his name is, the one that is Ant-Man. I mean, he brought his character out again, and it was good the way the plot was. I just didn't like that the whole thing was in the quantum. What is it? Quantum realm. Yeah, the whole movie was there. Entire movie.
That's part of the name, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed a little bit more fairy tale-ish to me.
Yeah, me and Andrea went and saw it, and
what do you?
I didn't really. I honestly, I'd probably give it a 5.
Okay.
I don't think it was bad. I think it was worth watching. I wouldn't watch it a second time. My biggest complaint was I don't know. They just didn't flesh out like they were all. I don't know. I don't want to say too much in case y'all want to go see it. So I think they were just. There's just some things that they didn't explain that they touched on like at the start or at the first half of the movie that they never went back to or explained. Okay. I thought Jonathan Majors was excellent as Kang.
Oh, great!
I think he might have stole the show with his acting. Like him.
I'll be honest with you. I think he's better than Thanos now. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know if you've seen any of his other stuff, like when he did what's the? Did y'all watch the Creed with him in it?
I haven't seen the Creed yet.
Um,
I'm going to check it out. But he is talented. Lovecraft Country.
yeah. So Lovecraft Country is the other one I was going to think of. Like he plays his parts very well. And I thought he was excellent.
He played the same character in what is it? Is it the Loki series? I think it was.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I think he plays the same character, a variant of the Kane character in the Loki series. And he was really, really good in that as well. So he's definitely a talented actor. I'm not taking that away from him. So I'm excited to see him in that role. But I guess go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say I don't know if I would say this to Jamon. I don't know if I would say he's better than Thanos. Like I thought Thanos was played great. Like I felt like he was a villain and he believed exactly what he was saying. Like he came through. And I think that Jonathan Majors played Kang excellent too. I think maybe it's because I've seen more of Thanos. He has as I think Kang is the next new bad villain in the Marvel MCU. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him too.
So they're just developing his character. Is what you all are saying.
Without giving out too much, yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you do go see it, just wait till the very end because there's two. It's two credits at the very end. One in the middle and then one at the very, very, very end that you got to wait.
Tell me that I don't leave any Marvel movie without.
I almost left after the first one. Then something said, just sit right here until after they go through this whole thing.
No,
so
Marvel
I
movies
waited.
are always. They always have a mid credit. If nothing else, they'll have one. But yeah, I always wait to the end just to make sure. Or if I don't do nothing else before I leave, I'll do a Google search in the theater and say, are there 2 credits or 1? Two.
But I will tell you this though. I will tell you this that during the whole time I was waiting for it to start, DC is trying to ramp that game up with Shazam and The Flash.
Not so much Shazam, but definitely maybe The Flash.
I'm excited about The Flash now. I'll be honest with you. I'm truly excited about that.
I'm excited about The Flash too. But bro, I definitely want to see Creed 3. So you've seen that too?
No, I'm sorry, I have not seen it. I was thinking of something else.
Okay.
But the previews, I don't know if you saw the preview, like the 3-minute trailer they did.
Yeah, he's friends with Michael B. Jordan's character, a former friend.
Yeah.
And did time for maybe something that they both were doing.
Yeah.
Comes back and basically is like, no, I'm the rightful champ. Like, so I'm excited about that and what could transpire. Y'all think this is the last Creed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I like Michael B. though. I like him though.
I do too.
I think it's a great series, to come off the back of Rocky.
Absolutely. It's been phenomenal. It's been very, very good. Blake, I know you're quiet, so that just means that you ain't seen nothing we talk about. But go ahead, give it a watch if you can at any point.
You didn't even have to do all that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll refrain from throwing you under the bus or whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What I was about to say was no. Don't judge me. I have not seen it.
I would never judge you. I would never judge you.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen the first 2, but I saw this one.
The first 2 what? The first 2? Oh yeah. And I guess I was going to ask Jamon, have you seen the first 2? Because to me, while the first 2 were good, it didn't necessarily for me. They weren't good enough for me to be all hype about this particular movie. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2. I'll be honest with you. I mean, but I'm always, I don't know. Ant-Man is not my favorite character at all, but I think he did a pretty good way of playing it, and the one that played Wasp and the whole 9. I mean, I think it was really well done. I mean, the CGs was just awesome. I mean, you can't get any better than that because they just it was just top notch. I went into there always like, you know what, Ant-Man's not my favorite, but you know, we'll see how this is.
Yeah,
I just got.
we went.
I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just got this one question for Jamon. Prior to the Ant-Man film, did you know that Ant-Man was a superhero?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just want to know that. I just want to know
Most
that.
definitely. Most definitely. But look, I don't want to change the subject, but do you really I broke down and went to see Blood and Honey. That deranged Winnie the Pooh movie.
Oh, that's in the movie theaters?
It was only for a short bit of time, but it was.
Was it good?
How was it?
Um, it was. It wasn't good. I'm gonna say that first off. It wasn't good at all. But it was. It kept me interested because of how terrible it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it kept me interested on how bad it was because it was. Nando, have you seen Terrifier 2?
No, I haven't.
All right. Well, it was more about just how gory and nasty a killing can be. Is what it was about, and I knew it was going to be like that because at the bottom it said not rated. When I went into the see the film, it said it wasn't an R. It said not rated. So I already knew that it was going to be one of these little nasty blood fests. But it was just interesting how they did it, and it's gone. It's out to theaters now, but it's 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 the way they did Pooh Bear and Piglet. It's just not, they weren't like robotics or anything like that. They just with these two dudes in overalls dressed in these characters and just slicing everybody. That's all they did. They just killed everybody. And not only did they killed them, and then it was just so graphic and gory. They tried to, do better each time they kill somebody.
Wow. let me one up the kill.
That's what it was. It was like, let me see how creative we can do this kill now, and we're not gonna only just stab her, but we're gonna stab her and then slowly bring the knife down and slash her and all, that type thing.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the wildest movies that I've ever seen in my life, I've seen with Jamon. So that doesn't surprise me that he went and saw this.
It's not. It's not. And especially if you got the Regal Pass too, you ain't got nothing to lose.
You definitely don't. You definitely don't. I need to invest in that myself.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Well, I think because explain it to me how it would work for a family, Jamon. Do you know? Because do I have to get one for each person in the family?
I think as long as you and Tanisha got one, right?
I could take the 3 kids with
You
me.
could take the 3 kids. Yeah, I think that's how it works. And also, what I like about it is you could be at home and say that, you got a big movie coming out. You can just get your ticket right there, and it's like only 50-cent charge.
Got you.
That's what I like about it. But that's what I think. I think you need one, and I think your wife needs one, and then after that, I think the kids is handled.
Yeah, if it worked that way, I wouldn't mind it. But if I had to get one for each person,
I don't think that's it because I think they realize that the kids can't go to the movies by themselves.
How much is a pass?
$21.
A month?
Yeah.
and you get to see as many movies as you want to.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal for one person.
But I don't know.
For 6
So
people,
can you bring a date?
You can, but see, with that, if you do it that way, I think you're gonna have to get so many credits where you get a free ticket on her end. It's only you that get the perks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not. It's when you read up on it, it's not fully explained in the best terms. So we've always had questions about it. Like we're always trying to call them and going up to them and asking them questions. But yeah.
Any, my last question. I'm sorry. Any snack discounts?
Oh yeah. As many times as you go, you get certain credits, right? And say you have like I'm just gonna throw a number. Say you get like 5,000 credits, right? You can get like a free medium popcorn.
Yeah.
Like, just go to the Dollar Tree.
No, I like movie popcorn. I pay for.
I agree with you, Desmond. Desmond, I totally agree with you. Hit that dollar store up and do what you gotta do.
Get that dollar store up, do what you got to do, roll up in there too. We was fortunate because back in the day, the dollar movie, which you only paid $1 for, the dollar movie was right there across from Hardee's. Mothers were doing Hardee's, get fried chicken and walk up into the movie theater. So yeah, man. Sometimes you gotta be like, you know what? I'm good with the snacks because I got in the Dollar Tree and got my pockets full. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
movie theater popcorn hits different.
it does.
I'm not paying for no candy though. I'm getting the candy from the dollar store.
You don't get no candy because you only gonna get half the box.
Nah, I'm not.
The rest of it gonna be air.
Maybe nacho. Maybe
not.
big maybe, but no.
So it's been a while since we went to the movies, and me and Andrea went yesterday, and I bought like a popcorn and then 2 medium drinks, right? And I didn't know what the sizes were, but a medium drink is like a damn 2-liter.
All right.
What am I gonna do with both of these?
Thinking to yourself, I could have just got one and shared it.
Right. I was like, they cut this size in half and charge me half the price. That's what they need to do.
Well, I don't want to hold us any longer because we got a good topic today that we want to talk about, and it comes to us by way of my brother Fernando. So, Nando, my brother, take it away.
I can't remember if I added this caveat when I mentioned it in the chat, so please forgive me. But what is a hobby or something you want to start doing that is realistic, right? Like me, I would love to. If it was not realistic, I would love to play bass in a rock band, but I ain't got the time for that. So what's something that you can do realistically in your spare time that you want to start doing or that you used to do and you want to pick it up again? What you got for us, Dez?
Oh, come back to me. Because I don't think I thought of it that way. I think I thought of it as like you mentioned.
Like if you had access to all the time in the world.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought of it from that perspective.
All right, I'll start off then since I guess I didn't mention that. My bad. My apologies.
No, you fine.
But when I was younger, I always wanted to be a carpenter and get into woodworking, and I just never pursued it. Right. I started going into like programming classes and computer classes, and that really clicked with me too. But I like working with my hands. A lot, believe it or not, I like that more than messing with computers. I love building computers because it feels like almost like carpentry to me, putting something together. So here recently I built a faux fireplace for my wife, that we use as a mantle and everything, stained it, painted it, cut it, everything. And I really enjoy doing that stuff. So over the next couple months, I'm just trying to think of some projects I can do woodworking wise to build things. I want to build a stand for behind our couch that I'm going to put, I'm going to try to run electric to so that it has chargers and plugins on the top of it. So if you was on the couch with your phone, you can just reach back and plug it in, just little things like that, things around the house. I don't have steady hands, so I can't do like the whole woodworking, like the designs and stuff like that. But I'm good with making sure my measurements are right and cutting once, right? Check it 3 times, cut once.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid, so I check it like 6 times.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. And, with my job, I learned a lot with houses and stuff and fixing houses and things like that. So kind of goes hand in hand with being able to do stuff like that. And I've always enjoyed it, right? It's something you can see your work and progress at the end.
Absolutely. So what is something that you want to build that maybe in the back of your head you're like, yeah, I might not have the time to do that, but it's something that I want to be able to create and put together?
Yeah, I got an answer for that because I already thought of it. So we have a laundry room, and I want to put shelves up, but on one side of it, I wanted to put stand-up shelves, and I was like, okay, I started pricing them and stuff like that, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I could totally build these though, and like I really would like to just aside time because it would be, 8 feet tall and probably 8 feet wide, and just probably six total doors, and I just don't know that I have the time to put into that, right? Because especially with the weather, when it gets warmer and colder in spring, like it's going to warp the wood, maybe put more moisture into the wood and stuff like that. And in my mind, you got to try to finish everything relatively soon. Because one thing I ran into with the fireplace is I had to take like a 2 week break, and my measurements were perfect. And then when I put it together, it was kind of a little bit off because the wood is going to absorb moisture and stuff like that, and it's going to expand and contrast a little bit. And so a project like that, I think I would either have to do somewhere outside of my home that has a control like humidity, or get it all done in a weekend. I think it would be fun to do, but I just don't have the time.
My grandfather was a carpenter by trade.
Oh yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, like he and it's one of the things that I wouldn't say I've always been obsessed with, but
Yeah.
I wish that I had learned more from him during the time that we spent together. Because I mean, for various reasons. I mean, that comes in handy with your own house.
Yeah.
Like saying you're putting stuff together at your house, and it's like I wouldn't have to pay nobody to come in and do things like that. So I would go with him. I would see him. He would put together decks and rooms on houses, and it just I would always say to myself, like, people always thought of me as a creative individual, but I would always say, nah, man, that man working with his hands, man, that's like the most creative person that I've ever met, because the things that I would see him just construct with his hands just fascinated the devil out of me.
Yeah, I'll just watch videos sometimes on YouTube of people building stuff. The ones that are sped up. That, like, to watch people make great things out of their hands. Like, it's funny. Like, I like just even watching a bartender work with their hands when they're mixing drinks, or a mixologist, right? And they're putting stuff together. Sometimes this is gonna sound stupid, but just when people write very neat, right? Like, I like to watch them, like, because they're creating something. To me, it's almost art. Like, but yeah, like I love working with hand. Watch people create things with their hands, out of seemingly nothing.
And in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking to myself, yeah, I would never be able to do that.
Yeah,
Especially you mentioned the neat handwriting. I always
yeah, I can't
I
do that.
sometimes, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah,
I do that.
I want to. The other project that I want to do that I don't know if I have time, because I want to convert our sunroom into an actual spare guest bedroom, and like I know what needs to be done, but again, like something I probably got to try to knock out in like a weekend or over a week's 2 weeks time. I just don't know that I can do that in that time frame.
Bro, do you think it's something that you would, I guess, like to pass on to the children as well? Like maybe if nothing else, to kind of
Right.
bring them along and say, hey, yeah, this is how you can do these certain things, so that if one day you want to be able to do this, not necessarily that they have to, but that you've at least kind of brought them along. Do you think that's something?
Yeah. And it's something I do with Shalise, and I think it's something that I need to do more often with the other kids. She's just more receptive to the information right now. I think just because of her personality and being way more mature than the other three, right? So when I tell her and show her things, I think she is more receptive. Even she might forget it when she walks away, right? But I think she knows it shows her that things can be done on her own, right? And that she can figure things out, and not have to rely on someone else to do it, or to pay someone else to do it.
Absolutely, because it costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
to fix things, and I've always said, and I used to get like flack for this, but I didn't mean it in a disrespectful way. I used to say, like, it almost came off as a lost art, or at least a lost skill or lost craft. And the reason I would say that is because I felt like people in my generation and younger didn't necessarily take it on as previous generations did.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather did. Like, there's a probably a long list of carpenters that I can name off the top of my head that are around my grandfather's age, but not so much around my age and younger.
Yeah.
So that's always what I meant by that. I never meant it in a disrespectful way, but I think people
Yeah.
I was trying to be disrespectful. It's like, no, I'm not. If anything, I wish it was something that I would have took more time to sit with him and do.
Yeah, and I try to stress that to the kids now that trades are just as useful as a degree, right? I was like, if you want to be an electrician, plumber, even like you can make a lot of money and you're doing things that help people. Um, like there's nothing wrong. I say you want to be a mechanic, even like it's going to be necessary. No matter what type of car, electric or traditional gas. Like you're always going to need a mechanic for something. And the skills transfer to other things, right? Like what I always say, like I I don't know everything about everything, but when you know how one thing works, you can kind of figure out how some other things work, right?
Yeah.
Like, or at least a best guess, right? Like, all right, so it's kind of similar in this. So I try to really hone that in on well, specifically Shalice right now, because she's the oldest. That trades it's a skill that transcends just your job or career.
Small engines and motors
Right.
occupy almost everything that we
Right.
work with in some way, shape, or form. So, absolutely, absolutely. My son right now is thinking about HVAC, and I'm pushing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm like dad is like
Yep.
yeah, like if that's what you want to do, and I've had to tell him time and time again, don't be doing the HVAC because you think mom and dad want you to do it. If
Yeah.
you really want to do HVAC, I'll support you like 100%.
Yeah. I try to tell them like there's all these avenues other than working for corporate America to make money, right? Like you can do real estate. Like nobody ever told. I mean, it's something that's maybe obvious, but and I think I've mentioned it on this show before. Like no one ever told me like, hey, you want to do X-rays for a hospital, right? Like that's something I would have loved to do. I didn't know that was a job, right? I'm an 18-year-old punk kid who thinks he knows everything. And I'm trying to make life decisions here. You
Medical
know,
coding and working from home, and
right,
no one that I
right,
could have done that, right? Like medical
right.
coding, really? A medical transcriptionist?
A pharmacist. I didn't know what a pharmacist was.
And now
You
you
know,
see, it's crazy, man.
so I try to tell them, there's other things you can do with your life. Um, some of them require college, some of them don't, and you don't have to think of a traditional 9 to 5 job as your only option. Anyways, I'm derailing the conversation. So that's all I got. Any other questions about me and my carpentry skills?
I might have to get you to build something though.
All right, I'm down. What you got for us, Blake?
Um, I would say for me, mine are going to be very random. Um, one thing I want to potentially start doing because I can do it through my job for free is potentially kickboxing or boxing class.
Oh,
I feel like that would be fun to do,
yeah.
and I feel like I'm gonna be, since I got long arms, I'm gonna be like old boy from Street Fighter. What's his name, y'all?
Dawson.
Yeah. So potentially that. One other random hobby I would love to be able to learn and really use is I'm obsessed with the sign language people. The sign,
Yeah.
yeah, like the people that are at the concerts, like signing
Going off,
like yeah, I love that, and I wish that's something that I always wanted to
they
learn.
be going off, man. They be getting down too,
Right,
man.
really, like I love it. So that's something I always wanted to learn. One day, hopefully, I'll be able to do that. They do offer that at community colleges around here, but it's a matter of time, obviously money. So
A fun fact about sign language is, or maybe this is not a fun fact, but there's no universal sign language. So if you take American Sign Language and then you go to Britain, even though we both speak English, they may not interpret it the exact same way because it's different there.
Ooh.
See, who would have known?
Yeah.
Huh?
But I think that's cool. I've always wanted to learn, right? Like we don't get to use it often, but I think that would be cool. A cool skill to have. And you never know when it would come in handy.
It's funny that they're different. So I'll go over to Brittany, and they'll be like, "Huh?"
Yeah, right? Like, what'd you say to me? What'd you call me?
That fool cussed me out.
Have you ever done any contact or fight sports before?
No, I haven't.
No.
I haven't. I just think it'd be fun to do, something to learn, stay in shape,
Yeah.
or whatever. Maybe be able to use if need be.
Right.
So
On the Eagles fan.
Oh, Blake Mayweather.
Have you ever watched boxing or kickboxing?
I watch boxing. I watch fights like with Mayweather.
Yeah.
I don't watch it like that.
I'm a big fan of boxing. I like kickboxing too. I like both of those better than MMA. I'll watch MMA, but I'm more of a boxer or kickboxing fan.
Yeah, I love boxing myself.
Yeah.
So are you waiting on what's the guy's name? Logan Paul to get knocked out because he thinks he's a real boxer, like he thinks he's legit. Real.
Well, unless I'm wrong, he actually trained as a boxer for like 3 or 4 years, I think.
No. I'll give it to him. He definitely trains. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, but he speaks as if he can really knock out the dudes that's been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't feel like nobody has really knocked him down. You know?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched any of his fights, so I don't even know what he looks like. I mean, I know what he looks like. I don't know what him fighting looks like.
Is that Logan or Jake?
The one that's not wrestling.
Jake.
So
Yeah, Jake is the one that's not wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about him who was like, yeah, I'm into boxing. And I was like, well, who's your favorite boxer? Jake Paul. Oh, okay.
That's the same. But some kind of way he beat now I am familiar with this boxer. Some kind of way I think he beat Silva.
Oh, Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
Some kind of way.
From
so
MMA?
something like it's rigged a little bit. Because it's like, come on now.
You know how old Anderson Silva is?
Well, Anderson Silva is more of an MMA fighter, right? So if you're taking away half of his ability, which is, I don't even remember how Anderson Silva fought, but like he can't take you to the ground like he would normally.
Yeah. You can't do grand moves in boxing. So interesting. I would say that's one of mine though, Blake. Since you've spoken on that, I'll go next. I would say one of mine is also boxing. Um, but I would also add two others. One being fencing. Because I would love to fence. I want to fence. I've been looking at classes on fencing. And the other is a skill that I feel like I currently possess that is kind of latent and I don't necessarily get to do, but if obviously um, I want to do, and that's writing. Writing a novel is something that I want to do in my spare time. I've always enjoyed the thought of being a published author, and just want to one day have something under my belt. That's mine.
We do it.
So what got you into fencing?
I don't know. I was watching something and was like, wow, man, like that just it seems like it number one takes skill, but number two would also help keep me in shape, as Blake said with boxing, and just something different, right? Like some because you don't hear too many
A
people
new
say, "Oh,
experience.
I want to do fencing," right? Like you don't hear that all the time. So fencing is something, yeah, that I definitely want to do. And like I said, I've been looking at classes on it. So we'll see, we'll see.
So
No
I,
tip.
I'm
I
gonna
think.
add.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
I'm gonna add swimming to my list. I want to learn how to.
You don't know how to swim?
Uh,
Oh wow.
my policy. I'm not scared of water by any means. I just have never learned, and so my policy as far as beaches and water, if I can stand, I'm good. If I can't stand it, then nah, I'm not. You know,
So the beach is only maybe a couple of feet from the
so I,
shoreline, right?
yeah, like I said, as long as I can stand, I'm good. But once we get to about in the pool wise, about the 6 feet, and it start getting around here, I'm like, okay, let me back up a little bit.
That's why you need to grow that beard so it can soak some of that water up for you.
I learned how to swim the old kind of way. Look, I'm standing on the end of the diving board, and they were like, "Look, either you gonna jump in or you can't come back off. So
They
which one
made
is it gonna
diving
be?"
boards back then, Jamal. I'm just
Yeah, remember
Made out of stone.
at the YMCA, the one downtown. Remember?
he said made out of stone.
Long
Sorry,
time ago.
we love you, Jamal.
I learned the same way. They picked me up and threw me in. Say
So
good
either
luck.
you swim or you sink.
Yeah.
You gonna learn today.
I sunk the first time. They had to pull me out.
I had a friend that tried to teach me, but I don't know how good of a teacher he was because here we are today, and I still can't swim. So we we still.
I'm only laughing because you said you don't know how good of a teacher that person was. Maybe you weren't good of a student. Like you ever
Maybe I didn't work hard enough. I don't know.
He was like the Karate Kid, but for swimming in awful.
But I can do a little bit of this right here. I can do this right here.
As long as you can do that, that's
Under the
half the
water.
battle right there.
Under the water.
As long as you can doggy paddle, that's half the battle.
Just don't tense up. That's the problem with most people. They tense up in the water. Like you should be able to float for a long time. Even my ass can float
This
for a
right
long
here.
time.
Yeah.
Once you get sucked into that undertow at the beach, you'll learn how to swim real quick.
That's different.
Now see, I don't
Oh,
go.
God.
I'm gonna tell you that was.
That's why I don't do that.
I did that once. That happened to me once. I got sucked in that undertow, boy. That's something else.
You about to drown.
That'll kill you real quick.
No, the lifeguard had to come out
I
there.
don't know what Jamal's talking about. That ain't the time to learn.
Lifeguard had to come out there and rescue
That
me,
is
man.
not a
But
time to learn to swim.
I was doggy paddling like I don't know what.
At that point. Dude.
What
If you can stand, that's it.
I couldn't stand. I know that much. I was in 20 feet of water right there, boy.
Nope.
It was either swim or sink.
Out there having a good time.
Yeah, next thing I knew, I turned around. I'm out there with the boats and everything. I'm like, wait a minute.
Sharks like he look good.
Right, I'm way out there, like look over there where the water go from like light to dark. Look, the waves crashing way past where you're supposed to be. You just sitting there bobbing, and I'm like,
Yeah, I feel a coral reef under my foot.
yeah, look. All of a sudden, I feel cold for some reason, real cold.
What the world is this? Yeah,
Look.
I don't advise the undertow at all. Don't learn
Hell nah.
that in that.
I ain't even look. My brothers and sisters, they'll go out.
Hold on, like I said, Jamal, you would have been a terrible Smokey the Bear.
No.
Now go out and swim in the deep end. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Only you can prevent drownings.
Only you can prevent drowning.
All right, Jamal, what you got for us? What's your hobby or skill?
I always want to learn how to be a motivational speaker.
Mm.
The reason I say that is my dad was the kind of person that, you know, he can get up there and talk about a jar of peanut butter, and by the time you leave, even if you didn't like peanut butter, you'd be like, I got to try peanut butter, you know, that type thing. And I've always wanted to be that person who could just, you know, talk to people and make them, you know, change their mind about life decisions when I got done. I'm feeling pretty good about it now because of being a mentor, but you know, taking it just one step further, you know, talking to groups of people that might be thinking about suicide, you know, talking to a group of people that may have problems going on, you know, just to get them pumped up again. And I always wanted to learn how to do that because I just think that, you know, the more people that are like that, you know, that are in your inner circle, even if you're in your outer circle, I just think that's the best thing. I just know that I can never, when I start talking, I can forget about the easiest words that come out of my mouth. I forget about it. You know, I'll be like, yeah. And then I started climbing up. What's that thing you called? A tree. That's right. You know, that type thing. And I'm like, I start rambling a lot and just forget about what I'm actually talking about. But I would like to do that. And my second love, I would always want it to be a stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
That
Just
is a
something.
good one.
Yeah, because I just be looking, and I love comedy, and I love watching stand-up comedians. I've got my 5 top stand-up comedians, and I just like the way they deliver and the way they can just roll off the tongue and think stuff like that. And I just, you know, making the world laugh, even if it's about stupid stuff. Last night I went to it was a gospel comedian show, and they it was a comedian. He was a lawyer by day, and then a comedian, and he was really, really good. He was really funny. And I was just like, you know, to see people just laugh and, you know, and the way you can just get into it and bring the audience into you like that. I like doing stuff like that.
I'm always discouraged by that fact because you know how always you watch like the shows and stuff where there's the one brother or the one cousin or whatever that wants to be the comedian. So then what they do is they'll take them and let them do a show, and then they find out they're not as funny as they thought they were. Like, oh man, that mess just seems hard. Like more power to the people that can certainly get up there and do it because I mean it takes a lot of work and definitely a lot of work to craft your skill and craft your talent.
Yeah.
Because some of these comedians that we see for on the underground such a long time, just perfecting, and it took them a while to get to the point that they at, you know. So more power to them, definitely.
I feel like we could do a whole episode about comedians.
We could.
Like that because just all these different people just came through my head when Jamal was like, yeah, my top 5.
Yeah, I've got I can roll off my top 5, but see, I was going to save that for another episode because,
right.
You know, that'd be a good episode to go on. But yeah, I've always had my top 5, always.
We'll save that then for another.
We'll save that, but I'm just saying, it's because that could last a while. But that's gonna be my next episode. Your favorite comedian, top 5, so or top 3 if we got time.
Yeah, I'd say top 3.
3's good.
Top 5. We get in here, we start naming 5, then everybody start listing honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions.
Blake can have about 56 honorable mentions. Oh, by the way, it's this dude that I saw the other day at the Laugh Out Loud comedy show. I think he funny. Yeah, we ain't got time for all that. I would encourage you to do one or the other, Javon. I think you'd be great at motivational speaking. Like I think what you would need to do though is maybe find that one niche, like that one topic that you feel like you can talk about, and go with that group and start there.
I mean, I feel like I do some sort of motivational speaking now. I just want to take it up,
Yeah, like do seminars.
Right. Because I mean, I can talk to like a group of 4 people and be like, look, this is what we need to do. This is how I feel about a situation. Blah 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 blah. But like you say, talk to a room full of people and just say, hey, this is, this is the subject and what we need to do.
It's funny you mentioned that. I feel more comfortable around groups of people, large groups, than I do smaller groups.
See, I'm just the opposite. I don't know why. I think smaller groups are a little bit more forgiving if you screw up.
Because I always feel like in the back of my mind when I'm going in the smaller groups, like generally the smaller groups that I've always been in, they've been experts in whatever it was I was talking about. In larger groups, you might have just a common man in there, and so I've always felt.
Yeah. I
big.
never thought about that. That's true. I gotta work on my rambling. As I say, when I get into stuff, I can forget like the easiest words, and I'm sitting there going, and when you do that type of thing, it's.
I want us to challenge ourselves and say that at least one of the things that obviously my brother Nando only listed one, but at least one of the things that each of us has mentioned, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And like give it a go and see what it materializes into. And that'll be another conversation that we can have on the show. Like, you know what? I went and did fencing, and you know what? I'm good. Or something of that nature. Maybe Jamon has a comedy show. Maybe he plans one comedy show that he does, and we all go. You know what, Jamon? You was good at the comedy show. You was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I think I want to encourage each and every one of us definitely to try one of those things that we're talking about. Desmond's task for tomorrow. Although I feel like it would be much easier for me to start writing, to be completely honest with you. Like I've invested so much in writing, like I've gotten like the final draft software. I've invested really in writing over the years. So we'll see.
Anybody off tomorrow for the holiday?
What was the question?
We could have been, but I got so much work to do. I'm working.
What is the question? What was the question?
I was just asking if anybody was off tomorrow holiday.
What is tomorrow?
George.
President's Day.
Ooh.
I'm going in briefly to exchange my laptop. They finally got me a new laptop, y'all, for this job.
Finally.
So I'm going in to exchange the laptop to get a different one, and then I got a meeting I think at 3:30. But that's about it. Nobody else is off. Like, are you off?
Yeah, I'm off.
No, the kind of job I do don't take off for that.
Yeah, people shoot people on President's Day, so. I'm making a valid point, right? Like people do, so news has to happen.
Big things happen. You right.
Oh, speaking of shooting people, did y'all hear about that news yesterday at River Ridge Mall?
Somebody got shot at the mall.
Well, I think four youngsters came in. It was 4 of them. 3 of them had legit guns, and one of them had like a I guess like an air rifle, one of them air rifles, and just caused a lot of panic in the mall. And they had to shut down stores in the mall, keep people in the theaters. It was like chaotic for a little bit. People had to go to exits and stuff like that, get out as soon as you can. They apprehended them, but it was crazy for like about an hour or so.
Kids bored.
It's a shame.
It's terrible.
It
They
is.
didn't go to the mall to the
Yes,
movies no more.
Des, I think you said something about what was it? The metal detectors at the schools. How you feel about that?
And I don't know whether or not, because I was talking to my wife about that the other day. I know it said that Lynchburg City Schools was considering it, but I hadn't heard anything else about it other than that article that I sent you all. So I don't know how true it is, because normally that website, it's not like a Lynchburg site. If that makes sense. So I don't know where they're getting their information from.
Roanoke City has them. I know that.
I just thought it was interesting. I just thought it was very interesting if it is something that they're considering, because of the fact that there's been so much that's been going on in the schools. I know I was at one of the schools the other day, and I know one of the young ladies was telling me that the school had canceled all after-school activities, simply because the kids had been fighting. And this is a middle school, so it's not just the high schools. And I've been in meetings and stuff where I've seen the numbers of incidents that have happened and some of the things that have happened in the schools, and I'm just like, man, it obviously it doesn't stop at the middle and high schools. Even the elementary schools are crazy now. So it just one thing after another that you got to worry about, right?
Yep.
So I tell my kids all the time, just be vigilant. Just be ever vigilant. Mindful of those around you. Pay attention, because you just never know. Scary world we live in.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Any other skills or hobbies, though? Because we could dwell on the negative. Any other skills or hobbies?
I feel like with me, the more obtainable ones will be the kickboxing or the swimming.
Yeah, I want to see you do kickboxing. Oh, I love that.
Or boxing / kickboxing or the swimming.
They're all definitely obtainable. It's just, as the question asks, dedicating that spare time to doing it, right? Like, so that's really what it boils down to. I think they're all obtainable. It's just dedicating that spare time. It's a conversation that I had with Nando before you all came on. This whole thought process of this show would be much better than it currently is in this iteration. If I did what I needed to do in my spare time. So I commit myself to that, and we're gonna make it happen. All right, my brethren, that is all for today. We certainly look forward to seeing you next time, and we would love to hear what maybe your skill or hobby that you would like to do in your spare time is. So certainly hit us up. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We'll make sure we get all that information out there to you. I've got to do a better job. Y'all, please stay on me. So if something's not happening and I'm supposed to be doing, my brothers, y'all hit me up and be like, Devin, you said you was going to do this. You need to get it done. Because I will sit around and be on Facebook watching videos and reels and stuff and mess like that when I need to be really focusing on getting stuff done. So we appreciate you for joining us. We will see you next time. Who got the next episode? Is it my turn?
I don't know.
Is it Jamon?
Jamon?
Was it me?
I thought, have you gone?
If it's me, I can tell you mine already.
Oh no, you did. Jamon did did his already. I think was it video games?
Yeah, I did video games.
I thought that was Fish.
Fish did video games. Jamon did.
Jamon did his, but I just can't remember what it was exactly.
Jamon did do his. Blake, have you done yours? You were the first one.
What did I do? I forget.
You were the first question of this new
I don't
season.
remember.
And I can't remember what it was either, to be completely honest with you. I have to go back
Oh,
and
I
look.
did sitcoms. I did sitcoms.
Yeah.
You did sitcoms, and Blake,
I did something.
you did something. So I guess it will be me. That means I gotta come up with something good. We will see y'all next time.
Happy birthday, MJ.
Something that I want to talk about. Happy birthday, what?
Happy belated birthday to Michael Jordan, 60 years old.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday, Michael Jordan. Happy scoring championship, LeBron, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. But we will see you all next time. Peace, love, and blessings. We love you all. We know this episode went a little over, but it was fun as always. See you next time. Fellas, I will see you when I see you. Love, peace, and soul.